Sébastien, thank you so much for joining us here at Empower.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate to be here.
Great to see you. So what are the key criteria, I guess, when evaluating funds, for your buy list, and how has that evolved over the years?
Yeah, it's a good question. Actually, we're in an industry that evolves quite a lot and things change. But on the other hand, I think to be consistent over the long term and to stick to our long-term process, that's what makes sense. So if you look at our key criteria, obviously the first thing we're going to look is the track records, right? So we use databases like Morningstar that is here at the moment at this forum, but we also use our own network. We think that we're in a people business and we leverage on all our network, the people that we know, to find new ideas. So that's the first thing. Really, the track record is the first element. But what we did actually, we use a lot of different quantitative tools that improve over the years and allow us to better understand where the alpha is coming from. Is it style biases or is it truly alpha that's generated by those managers? So that's something that evolved a little bit. But after, the big part that we focus on is more like the qualitative part of the due diligence, and that's where I think things evolve as well. We implement what we call the 4P model. 4P stands for people, parents, company, process, and portfolio risk. So within this process, we also fine-tune every of the 4Ps across the years. But overall, the process stays the same, and we think that longevity, that's what makes the difference over the long term.
So you trust in your process, if you like, but are there other key factors that play into it? Perhaps it's kind of maybe the feel and the philosophy of the companies you're wanting to work with?
Yeah, sure. So those things change over time as well, and we look at it. When there is one P that is the most important for us is people, and we think that understanding the people is really key. And what we saw over the years is that we want to be aligned with the people we invest in, that we're going to add to our shortlist. So we spend more and more time on that part of actually, and in a sense that what are the alignment of interest? Are we making sure that they are here for the long term, like we do at Pictet with partnerships that has been going on for more than 200 years, and we thought that longevity and alignment of interest are key. So we spend more time on that, for example, compared to what we used to in the past. Also, to come back on what we spend more time on and how it evolved, we have at Pictet now access to a chatbot that allows us to create some prompts and compare the historical of the information we receive from those managers. I can give you one example. We now collect the RFPs for the last 5 years of the manager we on board. And based on that, it allows us to see what's changed within those RFPs automatically. And it allows us to spot what have been the challenges or the opportunities that the manager we want to onboard had over the years. And that part of the process is something that enhanced and also allowed us to better understand the process and to be comfortable with the manager we want to select.
So again, we're seeing how technology is impacting this industry in a positive way there.
Yeah, exactly. It's always the same thing. You need to evolve, you need to accept that things are changing, and you need to leverage on what's available. And that's exactly what we do. I mean, it's not rocket science, but I think it's a great way of looking at what we do.
We're at Empower. There's 1,400 people here.
Yeah.
500 asset managers and allocators, a great opportunity perhaps for those smaller emerging funds to sort of make themselves known. So how would you suggest they go about that, and what are you looking for?
It's a good question. We can see here it's a big conference. There is a lot of competition, a lot of people out there. We are relatively big players, so people want to try to convince us to work with them. I think the best way, we are a relatively big team, so I always encourage the team to be open-minded. It's our role as well to understand what's happening in the industry, to be able to meet all those people, and I think it's where we can add value over time. So I really, and quite often, those players have a true alignment of interest with us in the sense that they are smaller, they have one strategy, and they want to make sure that the business is going to work out, right? So by doing so, we think that we can work with them for the long term, which is something that we like. So what we encourage them to do, not to be shy, to come to us, and sometimes we are not available or it's not possible to meet with them, but really to be open-minded and to encourage them to come and to talk to us. That's the best way of doing it, actually.
So this is a fantastic chance for them to get on your radar, if you like.
Exactly, yes.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. Great to talk to you. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.